Hey YouTube, new season, new meta, new buff Pokemon, and we are looking at one of those that got a double buff, and that is Malamar with psywave. So we are going to do this beyond the hype style, which basically means we are going to cut through all the hype that you're going to get from other content creators, and we are going to look at hard facts of stat products, typing, moveset, what works, what doesn't work, and then I will give you my opinion on what I think about this Pokemon in the ending. So Malamar got a double buff with psywave, so it has jumped up to the number 12 spot. So before this Pokemon, you used to use Psycho Cut, which was a very fast charging move, but very low damage. And then it had super power foul play, which you are using. But let's look at the other things. So first is a stat product. Stat product is like kind of like borderline middle. 118 attack, 117 defense, 136 stamina, 1887 overall. So in terms of the stat product, I always say one of two things. You either need like a 2000, like a lower attack, higher defense stamina with a 2000 overall stat product. That's your sort of baseline that I look for. If you don't have that, in this case, where you're balanced, 118, 117, 136, that's pretty balanced overall. So I like that. I like that sort of distribution of balance. 1887 is a little low for my liking, but you can make up for it with your moveset or your typings or both. And Malamar has both. So stat product is kind of like, okay. Not a selling point on this thing, but okay. It got a double buff on psywave. So suddenly your energy is slightly lower than Psycho Cut, because Psycho Cut is one of the fastest charging moves in the game, right? It was Psycho Cut, Mud Shot, Poison Sting. These were all Thunder Shock. These were your super fast charging moves with low damage. Now you got a quite fast charging move with 4 energy, but hello, double the damage of Psycho Cut. So now you got a pretty fast charging move with a really decent, not super decent, but like decent hitting psywave. With that, it is a 1-turn move instead of a 2-turn move. And 1-turn moves obviously just make it much easier in terms of catching, fast move optimization. Everything is just much easier than 1. Again, 2 is pretty easy as it is, but 1 is the best in terms of that stuff. So you got a super quick move, way harder hitting, 1-turn move. So loving that fast move. You're going to see some of the damage on these Clodsires and Machamps that were out there that these sidewaves did was so much damage. It added up real quick. And then you have Superpower, which is a 40 for 85, 2.13 damage per energy. And then Foul Play, 45 for 84, 1.87. And when you can get like a 2.13 below 4, like 40 and below damage, that's insane damage per energy. You love to see that. And then 45, 1.87, that's probably still near the top because you get same type attack bonus on this Foul Play here. So having a fast move that also hits decent to charge moves that are good damage per energy and quick is a great combo to have. And then on the third aspect, you have this really unique typing. So Dark Psychic, only 2 weaknesses associated with that. Double weakness to Bug and a weakness to Fairy. The bad side is you only resist Psychic and everything, right? So just a lot of neutral matchups. With this stat product 117, 136, you're going to see like this is a good combo here that you can mostly live 1 moves from a lot of stuff. So because you're neutral basically across the board to most things, you'll live 1 charge move and then probably go down to the second one. But I liked playing with it. I do think it has maybe some issues, and let's look at the battles to see. So first of all, don't use this team for starters. What was the thought process? The thought process was I'm weak to Bug and I'm weak to Fairy. So I was like, what's a Bug and a Fairy answer? And I'm like, Toxapex. That's kind of a good one because you got the poison to deal with the Fairy and then deal with the Bug and then water, stuff like that. Like water's generally good meta. And I'm like, I need a safe swap. I'll just use Feraligatr. And it didn't dawn on me until like the 3rd battle. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm double weak to Electric in the back. I'm like, oh yeah, Malamar's also double weak to Bug. So charge a Bug and Galvantula is going to just like kill this team. But you can work around it. Just given the strength of these Pokemon, you can work around it. So, but I don't know if I'd use this team again. Just an FYI. But let's look at this psywave and its strengths and weaknesses. So right at the bat, you're going to see not only this thing super fast charging, if these Pokemon stay in, like watch how much it chips 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that was like 8 or 9 moves. And now you're at the charge move. But like, look how much just raw damage that did. I'm throwing this foul play. I could have done one of two things. I could have thrown the foul play here. It was mostly because I just wanted to see how much damage it does. Obviously, the easiest answer is just to go into Toxapex and do your poison move, and just take. I ended up just farming down from this range, but if I wanted to, I could have just banked that energy, come Toxapex. But I just want to see how much damage it does, because that's what I do a lot with these Pokemon that I'm just testing out for the first time. Like, okay, let's see how much damage you can take. Let's see how much damage you can do, stuff like that. So that's kind of how I just test these Pokemon, which I think you should do in the first couple weeks to just learn how to use it. So I commit to the farm down. I did shield up one move, and now I've got a ton of energy. If the Machamp comes back in, it's going to have a bad time. So maybe we'll see what's in the back here. And it is a Clodsire, which was everywhere today. I'll eventually use it. Wait, I did use it on my next team. I used it on my Machamp team. So going back to Mark Bryan, let's see if I make the instant swap or just stay in here. I do make an instant swap into Malamar, and look at that. I have not thrown a charge move at the Machamp yet, and these psywaves have taken it down to the red without throwing a charge move. I have not thrown a charge move, and this has 1 HP left. So I know it's super effective, and Shadow Machamp is super glassy, but like, wow. And it happened a couple times with like the Clodsire too. I was so surprised. Why I'm laughing is like, I'm so surprised how much Psywave did in these matchups. And now I got the Feraligatr on the Clodsire. I will take a move. It is a Stone Edge. I was about to say, I know they kind of had two moves anyway, so I'm like, oh, if I'm not going to live one, let's just get this game over with. But I do live. Hydro off, take it out for the win. Dragology, again, this is half poison, so these are super effective, right? And look at how much these freaking moves do. I'm now at a move. They're only on an Aqua Tail, and I'm already at a foul play. So I'm just go 2 and then throw the foul play. Again, a good hard-hitting move, so they end up shielding. I get to a second one because this thing charges extremely, extremely fast, right? Most people live in the... and I get the full farm down. So I took 2 shields, and I got the full farm down, and then I see the lantern, and I'm like, oh, right. I do not have answers to an electric, but we are going with it, and I just kind of played with it anyways because I still did decent with it. Because most people, when they use Pokemon, are so used to like 2 and 3 turn moves, and they only kind of get it from the perspective of like, oh, it takes 5 or 6 2-turn moves to get here. So it takes 10-1 and 12-1 to foul play. So if you're talking like, just think of like counter or mud shot, these 2-turn moves, it takes essentially 5 counters to get to a superpower and 6 counters to get to a foul play. Same thing. Replace counter with mud shot. Replace it with the old wing attack. 5 wing attacks to get to a superpower. 5 mud shots to get to a superpower. 6 to get to a foul play. And when you put it in that perspective, it's just like, oh yeah, this thing actually charges pretty fast. Plus it still has this 3.6 damage per turn now, right? So fast charging, hard hitting. Gastrodon comes in. Again, taking this charge move. Body slam. I kind of went over the issues with Gastrodon's body slam this morning. It's not threatening. Like you're going to get by on the slaps, but not the body slams, right? So they're throwing the second body slam because they kind of have to. I end up shielding, and then they come in Toxapex. So I'm like, okay, I don't have... Best I have a mirror match, so I'm just going to stay in here. Psywave is super effective. Let's just try and chip this as much as I can. So that's okay. That's okay. That's enough chip for me to now just comfortably take this matchup. Obviously, I saw the superpower. I should have probably thrown superpower because resisted is better than nothing. So get off the sludge wave here. And I'm going to commit to the farm down, but I don't think they're going to let me. I think they're going to come in here with something else and bank that energy. They do. Gastrodon. I probably should have come for Feraligatr right away. I do not know why I'm taking these slaps, super effective slaps for no reason. I definitely should not be. But at this point, I'm just committing, forcing them to throw. And again, I'm in the yellow, and this body slam is not going to take me out. And it is nowhere close to taking me out. Like, go watch my video this morning if you want the lesson on that. And it is a skunk in the back. And Feraligatr, a little bit of energy advantage. Hydro will hurt. Shadow on, is that a Shadow? No. But I will shield. They do have access to Trailblaze, and that is exactly what it is, so I do shield that up. I expect to catch. They do try and catch. If this is a Sludge Wave, I'm going to be taken out, and I'm going to lose this match, and I'm going to be taken out and lose this match. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to lose, because I need to farm down and get to a move, and I do not. Okay, Clodsire, again, takes the Super Effector from the Psywaves, right? And look at... Again, Clodsire is tanky AF, and look how much damage these side waves are doing. I was just always laughing at how much damage this did. And get to a foul play, and now they get out into a Mandibuzz. And again, should I not get out right away? Yes, I just want to see how much Superpower does to a Mandibuzz. That's essentially what I'm doing here. And again, it's decent. It's good chip. Makes this mid matchup way more comfortable. And again, if you watch my channel for a while, I always say that, like, if you are worried about like going into an evenish matchup, like Toxapex and Mandibuzz is kind of evenish. They're both kind of bulky. You have a harder hitting fast move. They are spammier. So if you don't know, like, if you're not comfortable with who's going to win that matchup, it's very easy just staying with your first Pokemon, like throw a charge move, do a chip damage, and then that makes this mid game much easier. Clodsire comes back in, going to take me out here, but then I can probably rely on my Feraligatr on this, which is fine. They just dumped an Earthquake, so they're pretty dry. I may even overfarm here. No, I'm just going to throw the Hydro right away. I don't know if a Hydro takes out from this range. Clodsire is pretty tanky, but this is super effective. So yeah, it does take out, super effective. And now with the shield advantage, yes, you think grass against water is a good matchup, but not when that water Pokemon has Shadow Claw, because Shadow Claws do enough that Hydro will take out, so they have to shield. And I'm just going to be able to outpace and just dominate this thing. So Feraligatr is just going to sweep this matchup. I don't commit the shield because I think I could just sweep with Malamar if I need to, but they don't even take me out. I get the Shadow Claw down. I get the Ice Beam off for the win. Talonflame. Again, I'm probably just going to stay and play this matchup out. I have two better answers in the back, but again, I don't care. I'm not in this to win the matchups and play perfectly. I'm in it to learn the Pokemon. So I get the foul play off here. And again, with the side waves, this thing chips a lot. What kind of throws you off on the other end of it, I get a superpower, so I would have win in the zeros. They can shield and take switch if they want. What throws you off on the other end is the animation on Psywave. So I went against a Malamar in my first team this morning, and the Psywave animation is like long and drawn out and in your face. Oh yeah, they get out. They switch lock themselves on a Azumarill and a Toxapex here, so they're in trouble. Yeah, the Psywave is a very long, drawn out, in your face fast move, but it's a one-turn move. So you see it coming at you, but you don't really understand that it's a one-turn move, just because you just keep seeing this animation, and you don't really truly respect the impact of it. We're going to get into the Machamp issue tomorrow, because Karate Chop is a 3-turn move, and it has the same animation. No, it's a 2-turn move. Okay, never mind. Sorry. It is a 2-turn move. I was about to say, because it has the same animation. Yes. So, same turn move, but same animation. So you're going to see just the animation tomorrow. It's like, oh, this looks exactly like counter. So you can't really tell a difference. So I get the superpower off there to grab a shield, get into Toxapex, thinking that I'm a Cresselia with Future Sight's going to cause me problems, but they throw a bunch of Moonblast. I think maybe it's a single moved Pokemon with just Moonblast, because they throw Moonblast on this Toxapex multiple times, which is resisted, so there's no reason to throw that. Grass Knot and is neutral, and Future Sight is super effective, so the only reason you throw Moonblast resisted twice is if it is a single moved Cresselia, which happens when we're in the early part of the season. And this is why I always say, like, I saw some comments. Someone's like, I went 24-1 with Shuckle and Bronzer in the Little Cup. It's like, congratulations. That is a great record. I don't see a point to it. not this early in the season. This early in the season, you should be testing stuff out. the runs will come later in the season. Now is to test these Pokemon and learn what's good and what's not good, in my opinion. But I mean, everyone should play the way they want to play. Don't let me tell you what to do. And if you want to submit those battles because the Little Cup is on next week, and I need some battles for next week. And anyways, they are running in the back a Primarina. So I come in here thinking that I can get to a move, and I cannot. I do get taken out, but I do have a move here, so I will take this out here. Okay, Gramble, terrible lead. So I go straight into Toxapex, which is also kind of almost stupid. Again, it's early in the season, so that's not a move you should make later in the season against good players. Because good players, they'll have an answer to a poison in the back. This is early, so you can kind of get away with just going directly into the answer to a fairy. I need to try Guzzlord. I went against Guzzlord twice. With the boosted Brutal Swing, this thing is way, way better. Yeah, the quicker boosted Brutal Swing. Boosted Brutal Swing? I think it was less damage, less energy. I forget what the buff was. Something like that. Anyways, it definitely plays way better. So definitely one I'm gonna Guzzlord. Probably has more play in the Ultra League, but definitely one I'm gonna test out. Again, before I get too late in the video and people already click off, I mean, we're already 16 minutes in. If you're this far, you're probably staying until the end. I appreciate you. If you want me to test out certain Pokemon, let me know. It was Gastrodon this morning. It is Malamar right now. It is Machamp tomorrow morning. And then that's it. I don't have anything else picked yet. By the time this goes live, I'll probably have already played at least one more. Maybe Marowak will be next. Either just the Kanto Marowak. I kind of already know how Mudslap users plays, but we'll go do Kanto Marowak or a Marowak. Probably for tomorrow afternoon. Both got buffed. And then I eventually want to try like Dunsparce and Licky. I eventually want to try. I had Jump Off on a team for a couple. I'll eventually go to like Jump Off on his own team. We'll go with these Poison Sting users like Drapion or Quillfish. So those are all I'm going to test out. Yeah, so let me know if there's any other Pokemon that I have not named that you're like, I definitely want to see this in action, get your opinion on, because I will definitely test it out. Maybe Sableye with Power Gem. Power Gem got a real big buff. So I could do Sableye with Power Gem just I can build up a Shadow, because I've got a couple that I can just build up. Do I have the XLs? Probably. So yeah, let me know if you want me to test any of those Pokemon out in the comments below. Back to the battles. Get a brine off on this Clodsire. They're going to have to throw, or else I'm going to get another one off. So they do throw. I can then align with my Feraligatr. Oh yeah, this Acid Spray one. I remember this person doing that. And this is an underpowered Azumarill, 1428. So I get this off, and then I'll probably instant swap to Feraligatr. Yes, Hydro's resisted, but the claws do add up. Bubble's resisted on their end. So as long as you shield the player off, it is actually a pretty comfortable matchup because the claws add up, and so does the Hydro Cannons. And as long as you don't take a play rough, you are very easy resisting the bubble. And again, this is an underpowered one, so these Hydros and claws are doing way more than they would on a full XL'd Azumarill. So we're not going to read too much into this matchup with Feraligatr. Feraligatr is very strong in this meta still. I expect it to be used a lot the higher you go, like later in the season. I think it's just a pretty safe Pokemon against everything that we're going to test. Gastrodon, Malamar, Clodsire is going to be everywhere. Machamp, like it's just going to have play against everything. So speaking about play, Charjabug has play against this whole team. So I'm staying in here. Get off the Psywave and Foul Play, and again, look how much those Sideways are doing. Get off a second one, and then I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how much energy they have. I don't know what fast move they're using. But at this point, I'm just like, okay, throw that X Scissor and take me out. I think they just have like 100 energy right now. So there's one gone. Yeah, back to back here. So it's probably an X Scissor, but I'll just shield anyways, just in case. And it is an X Scissor, so that's unfortunate. But I'm like, maybe if you have a Charge Bug in the lead, you may not have answers to this stuff in the back. And it is a Diggersby. So the Hydro will not take out from this range because, yes, super effective, but Diggersby is way too tanky. So they live. I let the first move go, which is a mistake because it takes, again, Feraligatr is so glassy with the Shadow, so it takes me way too low, and they end up shielding. So now Fire Punch will take me out from this range. And then I have Toxpex, which is weak to ground. Oh, yeah, and they run a double ground team, so I'm screwed anyways. They have a Diggersby and Clodsire in the back. They're running a double ground team. So they get a move off here, and then they have the Clodsire in the back for this, and I have no shot. Double ground team is kind of an interesting strategy. Especially with Diggersby, you can use like Quick Attack Hyper Beam to give you more coverage. And the ground will cover the steals, so you got options. Ryan here, not going to do nearly enough. And then it's just going to be a pacing issue, and I'm going to be significantly outpaced to the moves here. And I need 2 more brines, and that is not happening. I'll live 1 Earthquake, but not enough worth even throwing this brine. I'll get taken out here, and I think I got 1 more battle. Okay, so I guess I should do a roundup because I did a roundup on... oh yeah, plus my opponent legs out of this one. So let's just go half through this battle. Psywave is resisted. Superpower is double super effective. Steel and Rock take super effective from fighting. So I will throw this and then go into my Feraligatr. So that does a ton of damage. End up coming in and shielding anyway, which is kind of a weird play, but... Oh, no, I don't shield. Okay, so I'm just going to sacrifice it. Yeah, I still get to a Hydro. Just going to sacrifice this. This will chip, and then I'll get my Toxapex on it. Nope, okay, my Malamar. Okay, yeah, I guess Psywave is super effective, and Foul Play will chip here. So shield up the Leaf Blade. If this doesn't take out, the Psywaves definitely will. This does take out. If they come back in, oh, they come in wiggly, and now they're locked, and then I can take this out. Yeah. And then I just get ahead on energy, and then they come in here, and I brine them, and then they spin out, and it does not matter in the ending. Yeah, so they just spin out. Final thoughts on Malamar. So the Psywave does way, way, way more than I expected it to in, obviously, the super effective matchups. Like taking the Shadow Machamp down to 1 HP just with Psywaves is crazy. And the amount of damage it does, like bulky Clodsire and stuff like that. Again, those are super effective moves, but just in pure like raw damage, it's pretty good with stab on it. Obviously, superpower and foul plays are quick to get to. I'd say the biggest limitations of this Pokemon are your stat product just puts you like in the middle, right? You're not like a hard hitting Pokemon like Feraligatr. You're not a bulky Pokemon like Azumarill or Clodsire. You just kind of fit in the middle range, like Quagsire and some of those Pokemon, but maybe just like slightly less in stat product wise. So stat product wise, you're just kind of meh. Typing, again, very unique that you only pick up 2 weaknesses, which is great. And those weaknesses are Fairy and Bug, which are not super, like Fairy a bit more, but Bug not super relevant. So really only like 1 big weakness you need to watch out for and build for. But again, only 1 resistance, and it's Psychic, which is nowhere. So you don't have a lot of resistances. So pretty much in all matchups, you're just going to be having a bunch of neutral moves thrown at you, which is kind of bad in itself. But again, the bulk, your stat product, you can almost always live 1 of those moves and then decide there. But then otherwise, your moves are for how quick they are to get to with Psywave and how quick they are in general, and the damage per energy is a pretty good moveset. So I definitely think this is a Pokemon worth using. I feel like they did not ban this in Psychic Cup, and it's going to be on every single person's team if they did not ban it. Rightfully so, because it's like it's a ranked number 12 on PvPoke in the Open Great League. Is it worth it? Again, I kind of did this with Gastrodon. I don't think Gastrodon's a top 5. I think it's like a top 20 though. Malamar is definitely a top 20. Again, it's tough for me to rank the 10s, stuff like that. Drawbacks to this Pokemon, again, you don't have anything for fairies, right? You have a Foul Play and Superpower. So if you go against a fairy, you are in big trouble. If you go against a fighter, Foul Play is resisted, so you have to throw Superpower, which is a move that lowers your attack and defense. One of those two, or both. So let me just actually confirm which one it is. I still have PvPoke open here. Superpower lowers your... both. Yeah, 100% chance of lowering your attack and defense. So if you're against a fighting type where Foul Play is resisted, you have to throw a Superpower, and that will force you to bail or just lower your defense and attack at the same time. And yeah, but otherwise, I think it's a really strong Pokemon, and the psywave is a huge improvement over Psycho Cut. So that's it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about everything I said and what Pokemon you've used and what you want to see and all that fun stuff. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Like I mentioned on my Twitter that August was probably the best month I've had in the past year. And yesterday I got over 100 new subscribers, which for me is very rare. I was averaging like even in the good months, I would get like 500-ish new subscribers. So to get 100 in a day, there's clearly excitement for the season, and people are looking for all these new Pokemon. So stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Stay tuned for Beyond the Hype on all these new Pokemon in the upcoming days. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.